Hello, I'm Chad Thomas, and this is Celebrating Marvel Studios. Okay, so in this episode, I'm going to be discussing the first two episodes of the long awaited Disney Plus series WandaVision. Now, as we've seen through various clips, trailers, things like that, the show goes through a series of different sitcoms, starting from a show like The Dick Van Dyke Show, which is what is the first episode is patterned on. The second episode is patterned on Bewitched. So Disney Plus dropped the first two episodes for us, and I'm going to discuss them. There could be spoilers ahead, so if you've not seen them, stop now, come back later after you've watched it. Now, the first episode is, let's say, like the honeymoon period of Wanda and Vision's story. It shows that they've just recently gotten married, settled into their new home, and are adjusting to life in this quaint little town. Or cul-de-sac, actually. Well, cul-de-sac in the town, yeah. Okay. So as they are adjusting to their new lives, Vision goes to work at a company that doesn't seem to do anything, and nobody seems to know what the company does. However, he's up for a promotion if he can host a wonderful dinner for his boss's wife and his boss. And Wanda thinks that this day is their anniversary, so she meets their neighbor Agnes, and Agnes is giving her ideas about how to be seductive in a 1950s kind of way. There's nothing, it's very much patterned like the old series. I mean, you know, there isn't foul language, there isn't gore, it's very slapstick, and the use of practical effects. So while Vision is going to be treating his boss and his wife to a dinner, Wanda thinks it's their anniversary, hijinks ensue, and it comes to kind of a weird little spot in the show where Vision's boss starts choking on something, and his wife keeps saying, "Stop it, stop it, stop it," over and over again, and Wanda's like, "Vision, you gotta help him." So Vision faces through and retrieves whatever was blocked in his boss's throat. Also, it's interesting to note that any questions of when they got married, how long they've been married, where they came from, are all a blank to Vision and Wanda. So it's kind of interesting too. And so interjecting into the episode is a commercial that is actually part of the show, but this one has a toaster that is created by Stark Industries, so that was pretty cool. Nice little throwback right there. And so after all is said and done with dinner, the boss is happy, said he had a really good time, and they leave. And so at the end, everything is hunky-dory, and we move on to episode number 2. So this episode, still in black and white, is patterned after the series Bewitched. The house has changed, and but everything still seems like it's normal. And there is a town talent show that is going to be taking place, and Vision and Wanda are doing a magic act, and their concern is really that they don't want the people in the neighborhood to know that they're different. So they're trying to, normalize themselves as much as possible. So as Vision heads out to join his fellow co-workers for this group about security and things like that, and then Agnes comes over and finds Wanda outside, where Wanda had found this toy helicopter that was all in color, specifically Iron Man colors, the yellow and the red, so that was kind of weird. So Agnes takes Wanda over to Dottie's, where it's the Women's Council, and they're discussing plans for the talent show and whatnot for the children. It's a very, very obvious point in the show for the children. So Wanda doesn't set up a very good impression, and after all is said and done, she talks with Dottie after everybody's left. She says, we started off on the wrong foot. I would really like to, start over again. And then all of a sudden on the radio, there's you hear the music, but then you hear somebody calling Wanda, very staticky, but it's very weird. And then the radio just blows, and the glass that's in Dottie's hand shatters and cuts her, and her blood is red. So that's really weird. The color of red shows up every once in a while, so it's interesting to try to decipher what that means. Now, in this episode's commercial, it is about a watch, and the watch company is Stucker. So if you happen to recall, it was Baron von Stucker that found the twins, Wanda and Pietro, and trained them. And also on the face of the watch is the Hydra symbol. Now that's really okay, what is going on here? So going back to the episode, while at the little convention with Vision's co-workers, they're passing around donuts, and Vision's like, I don't eat, between meals, because he's trying to cover up. But they offer him a piece of gum, and he's like, well, okay, at least I should try it. So he awkwardly, puts it in his mouth, starts chewing, and then he gets a pat on the back from one of his co-workers, and knocks the piece of gum down into his system and jams up his inner workings. So at the talent show, Wanda's patiently waiting for Vision to arrive. When he does, he seems like he's drunk, basically. He's stumbling, mumbling his words, and Wanda's like, I don't know how we're gonna get through this, but they're on next. So they go through the magic show, and Vision starts flying up in the air as he does, and Wanda has to do a little magic to make it look like he's on a string, and it's just a few things like that basically Vision screws things up and Wanda fixes it. And all in all, after all that was said, Wanda figures out what's going on with him. She removes the gum. Everything's back to normal. They win the inaugural comedy award for the charity event, so that's cool. It's for the children. So they get back to the house, and they're like, oh, well, that was really, really awesome. And they decide that they're going to stay in and watch TV. And then Wanda says, I'm going to make some popcorn for the children. So she gets up, and then Vision's like, what? And Wanda looks down, and she's got a belly. And she's like thinking, and she's like, Vision, is this really happening? And he says, yes, my love. And they kiss, and then there's this sound. So they go out to investigate, and out of the manhole in the street is this guy in a beekeeper's costume, bees swarming all around him, and he like looks at them, and Wanda's just like, yeah. And then like rewinds back to the moment where she discovers that she's pregnant, and they kiss, and that's the end of that episode. I just want to talk about general things about the show. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are fantastic in the show. Their comedic timing is just absolutely impeccable. Really makes it seem like it's the old sitcoms that many of us have watched. And there are so many little things in the show that I noticed. Their address is 2800, which is prominently displayed also on the mailbox. So I wonder if that number has any significance to the show. Also knowing that somebody's been watching them. We don't know who, if it's like AIM or if it's Hydra or whatnot. So we're not really entirely sure if at this point whether this is Wanda's vision of how she wanted her life to be with Vision, or if it's an outside entity that is manipulating the situation. It could very well be either or. I know some people are leaning more toward Wanda creating everything to her liking, which sets up a storyline that's very familiar in the comics. So that is going to be it for this discussion of the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. We certainly appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Feel free to comment while the video is running. We certainly appreciate all the views, all the likes, all the dislikes if there are. And as always, love and light to you all.